He had his time with Optic for a pretty good time before that. He had played a little bit with Cloud9. Of course, I think his Optic days were a bit more bright than his times with Cloud9. I think he kind of struggled there, but with Optic, he seemed to have been making some strides in the right direction. I mean, he was always kind of faulted for his decision-making a bit. It was never his aim, it was his decision-making, the fact that maybe he was a bit too passive. I think he improved on all those things, but according to Optic, it seemed like maybe they still felt he was a bit too passive, was one of the reasons they gave for removing him from the team, as well as I think just the players not getting along, team environment being bad. It's really a lot of nonsense what happened over there, to be honest. It's kind of a disheartening story when you hear about all the ways that happened. But yeah, Shazam's kind of more than no value. Litmer's the up-and-comer, the guy that everyone has their eye on to see how he's going to develop and if he can be one of the better operas in the NA scene, which he's shown hints of that, but we'll have to see if he can keep that on a consistent basis.
Certainly, and we are live here in compLexity versus Splyce. Map 1, it will be cash, and really patient play here from both teams. No action so far. A minute 20 into the round. Splyce geared up more towards A, but has eyes on B in case compLexity decides to push with that 3-man stack they have over there towards B. Everyone staying patient here. No team getting too antsy. But if Splyce just goes for it, if they just execute, if they just take A, it's going to be up to compLexity to fight it off playing purely retake. Oh, actually, they're going to boost over into mid, maybe?
Yeah, sorry, my game actually crashed, so you're kind of on your own for a second here later.
All right, I will take over. Surreal from Z could be potentially spotting Terrace in mid. He sees a bunch of them shooting his USP a lot. Not really connecting. They're doing a little bit of damage, but getting bullied away. And now the split towards Vent is incoming. Whitmer gets a quick headshot, and they are all falling out of Vent. The defense is definitely on. Great stack here for good read overall. Arya answering back, making it back even. Jason R getting a frag as well. Baroka answering back to Chaos, trading back to him. So this bomb site is being heavily contested right now. Players shooting at each other inside and outside of the site. Surreal now gearing up from lower. Pop out with his teammates. Splyce still has the man advantage despite the fact that it's just Arya with 7 HP. Surreal pushing into the site in rail. Will go 1-for-1. Shazam trading him out. Def now in another duel with Shazam. Shazam's going to let him away, back into the site, let him tap the bomb. It's planted for Shazam, and main is going to get a big old dink onto Def. That's going to certainly hurt this round for him. Goes for another tap, and will get removed. So, really solid round from Splyce. They're beating the stack on B.
Yeah, so I didn't actually get to catch the initial part of that round, but I definitely saw how they were able to eventually overcome the stack and get into that 3 versus 2, and they just had a good plant, good post-plant positions, were able to prevent any type of defuse from going down, and so Splyce, they will be able to take the pistol to kick things off, as we are going to see compLexity force up here a little bit, not too crazy, no armor or utility thrown into this, just a bunch of deagles and 1 Q250 on Def. Whitmer, of course, not buying anything, looking to be able to flood that op in the very first gun round, so cutting all the corners he can.
Now Splyce still staying patient, looking for frags. And kudos to compLexity thus far for not giving it to him. Hopefully trying to catch players running into their deagles. They don't want to get into these long-distance AK fights, though. I'm not exactly sure. If they know what the economy, or what the buy situation is like for Splyce, I don't even know if they know they have 4 rifles. Either way, though, Shazam revealing he has 1 as he teams up with David to get the frag.
Splyce just taking over mid-control. Of course, it was not contested at all from compLexity, so easy pickings for Splyce as they slowly just press their way out. They already do have a little bit of vision going up highway now. It's Arya is going to have that AK. Jason R and company with that bomb now inside A main. Def is pretty much alone here, trying to fight from on top the balcony to try to cut off this highway push, but it's going to be unable to do so. Davey going to catch the kill, and here comes Splyce rolling in. We do see compLexity trying to rotate over here towards the truck, but so far they've been met. But here comes Roka with a couple of deagle frags, so now he's got into a 2v3. That's another deagle frag from Roka, so he's popping off heads right now at that thing, and he's brought this back into a 2-on-2 retake situation, so Splyce have to be careful now. There's a chance this retake could work, but Davey finally silences Roka. But Surreal, now he's going to get his turn. He's going to find one. He's going to 1v1 against Professor Chaos. Professor Chaos does have the AK, but Surreal has also picked up one. He's keeping the deagle out. He's tapping the bomb. He's trying to find PC. And PC's not peeking. He's, playing it real smart. Surreal has no idea where he is. Now he just has to leave because he's run out of time. And Professor Chaos played that 1v1 so intelligently. And he kind of makes sure that Splyce is able to take the round despite kind of how it progressed, because that was shaky there for a little while.
Certainly. Really great discipline there from PC. And I meant to talk about this beforehand, but I feel like this kind of matchup favors Roka's style of play. Is really aggressive, get up in your face and frag you play style. You can never count on 3-1 digs like he just hit. That's, I mean, that is still a very Roka play, but that's, you can't really bank on that. But either way, I feel like this kind of like pug new lineups, you know, working into against a team who's trying new stuff. I think that's exactly where Roka can thrive if he can keep it going. Whitmer and Def are able to team up and catch a frag early for complexity.
Exactly, they are able. Yeah, and they also had a 4-man stack at A, so we've just been able to see Splyce get into checkers, but Roka has that deagle inside the B-bomb side. He's been able to find a kill there. Arya able to respond, and now we're going to see Shazam pushing out mid, so now the B-bomb side attack is going to be making its way in here. Def up in the smoke, gonna get caught out there by Arya trying to come out first, and so this bomb is certainly gonna go down now. It's going to be a 3-on-3. Arya's gonna be able to re-smoke lower, and we are going to see that all of Complexity's members here are all geared up outside of the site. No one gonna be coming from Vince or on the flank. They're all on this CT spawn side. Again, that smoke's still up on lower, so they don't really have any vision there. You can see Sanks has already kind of begun to back off to middle just to look for exit frags, so obviously there's no real chance of this ever panning out into a victory, but they'll see if they can't do a little bit of economic damage. They've already got a couple of kills on the round, so getting a little bit of rebuying going, but Splyce is certainly going to be able to push this to 3-0.
Definitely. I think Sanks may be able to steal away an AK here if he plays the timing right. He's going to engage with Shazam, get the kill, but quickly trade it out. So won't be able to steal away an AK, but they're making these rounds decently expensive for Splyce down the line, so that's not terrible. But guns up here for Complexity, their first chance to really stick it to Splyce after the pistol run that didn't exactly go their way. I feel like Complexity has been having, for the most part, good reads, including that pistol round where they had the right stack going, but Splyce has been really patient and not overextending and putting themselves in just unfavorable positions. They're working for picks, they're finding them early, or even if they get picked, they're rotating and working as a team and snapping in the other direction.
So we're going to be seeing our first gun round here. Op is going to be in Whitmer's hands, and force across the board for Complexity. The Op is going to be in the hands of Shazam, as I believe he is been boosted up. Oh yeah, get a little bit pushed here. He's going to get taken down. Complexity putting the double pressure there on the counter boost. They don't actually do the boost, but they had Surreal and Def both waiting there at the base, and they catch Shazam for free, not taking any damage in the process. So just kind of a quick 5-on-4 here for Complexity. A great way to kick off the round, as we do see the rest of Splyce gathering up towards this A side.
Same with Complexity, though. Four on four now in the site. Sanks then opening up with a frag onto Arya, so the Commentators are kind of bringing it back until Jason R. and Def get frags of their own. Whitmer now though taking control here and getting an advantage for his team, leaving PC as the last man standing, running straight onto the side. 4v1, no chance he's going to get it done. Def ripping his head right off. Complexity right back in it in what was another round with a really good read. They knew exactly where Splyce was headed. Great job getting that early pick. They worked right off of it, and they got right in Splyce's face with 4 players.
Yeah, so there's some aggression from mid. I mean, they were giving up middle throughout the first 3 rounds. Of course, they didn't really have the firepower to do much about contesting that area of the map. But now that they do have, you know, rifles in their hands, they, you know, just pick off Shazam for free. And this forces Splyce immediately into just a light buy. Just a few deagles. A couple of players did armor up, but no utility. It looks like they are just kind of opening a default. Davey is still lurking over here towards the B-bomb site right now. Arya at the door. They don't really have utility to do a whole heck of a lot. They're just hoping that one of these deagles is going to find some aggression from Complexity and give them a slight advantage to play off of. But instead, Sanksington has been able to eliminate 2 of the players on the A side of the map. So already a 5-on-3 for Cole. Again, there's not much with Splyce to work with, positionally or with guns. So very likely Complexity puts a second round on the board any moment.
Certainly. I think they got a little jealous with the success that Roka was bringing with the deagle and thought they could replicate it themselves. So far, not so good, as it is a perfect round here for Complexity. All guns being saved, no one going down. Real cheap round coming in for them here. Exactly, well, maybe not exactly when they need it. Splyce is still all over the place money-wise.
Yeah.
They do have 4-5 on Shazam, though, so he's going to be able to get an off into his hands next round.
I mean, the thing is, even though they 3-0'd, they never survive with more than 2 members throughout the entire process. So having to constantly rebuy throughout all those rounds, you know, definitely has taken its toll on Splyce. As yeah, again, they will just be on upgraded pistols, as you said. A lot of money on Shazam, but several of the other players were quite low. This is going to give compLexity a chance to tie this thing up now. Again, they're getting aggressive at mid. Def is pushed up. Surreal, you know, assisting him here from the highway. Even Sanks was involved for a little bit, so kind of a 1-3-1 setup going on. And Def is going to be able to line up 3 kills there pretty rapidly. Surreal also chiming in, so there you have it. compLexity shutting down mid once more, and they're going to tie the game up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, certainly. As you noted, they went from not playing mid at all to now winning rounds based off mid aggression and the control it gives you, even the information it gives you. So easy cleanup round. Didn't really expect much else here. It was just upgraded pistols. So Splyce, I think, just trying to steal something away here, but coming up with a nothing is tough. That's a lot of money that compLexity could be potentially banking here, and he's not even able to take down Def. So 3-3 is the score. compLexity stacking up crazy with the money. No one has to buy at all. 5-4 on their poorest quote-unquote player. They are going to be hard to stop here.
Yeah, it's really going to take Splyce winning a couple of rounds in a row, and they're going to have to do so fairly comfortably, as they don't have a whole lot of cash to work with. And as you noted, Cole is just rolling in dough right now. They're not having any problems. They've really been able to put up a great fight in the last few rounds. So we're going to finally see our second rifle round, however. So there's really not too much to read out of the game just yet. We've only really seen one direct rifle round, which was won by compLexity, but this will be kind of the second go for Splyce to see how they're going to contest this half. And again, opening up very default, maybe playing super passive at B's all the way back in T spawn, just watching to see if there's going to be a lobby push. That way he can, I guess, be closer to his team if they want to do some type of A execute. That, or maybe he's crashed out or something. I don't know. No, he is just sitting back there very patiently. Meanwhile, Sanks has pushed into A main. He's taken out Jason R. So compLexity, they've just been relentless with this aggression at A main in both rifle rounds, and in both instances, they've been able to get the better in the trade. Arya finally coming out the trade back, but Def right there to hit him back up. So it's a 4-on-2 for Cole. And I mean, Splyce are having a hard time cracking this defense.
Yeah, our second rifle round in a row, or gun round in a row, where Splyce had their strat kind of blown up before they got to start it. Sanks coming in, big 2K in A main before it was the boost up in mid, killing Shazam. So it broke a little differently, but mostly it ends the same way. Whitmer now in, or sorry, Davey. What am I saying? Whitmer got the frag that made Davey the last man standing. If you hop into the site, Whitmer's so blind, still able to pop back up and get the frag. 2 for him, 1 for Def, 2 for Sanks, but those 2 from Sanks were really the round winners.
Yeah, so it was also Sanks who had done it, I think, in the last gun round when he pushed A main. Of course, having some assistance with a nice pop flash from a teammate, so there's definitely an assist involved in all of that, but it's still his shots that have been really clearing out that A bomb set anytime Splyce is set up to execute there. And now Splyce are back to saving again. So they've already had to save 3 times in the first 7 rounds of this game played. That is not good at all.
Solo here in the B bomb site. 4, maybe even that 5th player coming from Splyce. Luckily, Sanks is in the vents and he's ready to rain down some havoc. No, he's not at all. He goes down immediately, and Roko only gets 2, so even trade bomb site for Splyce. Bomb will go down. They needed to get something going in their favor.
Yeah, they didn't really go well. Sanks was kind of the first to engage, which is odd. Usually you're going to be the one that kind of flank in after your side player's taking the fire. Yeah, so I think they had contact wrong in that situation, which certainly hurt, and Splyce has been able to get inside the site. Now they have a 3-on-3. As we're going to see Def flash into smoke and Cole. They are going to go ahead and press through here through lower. They've been able to bypass that player in lower CT, so that means that Def can get into the site, get a kill, but Splyce from inside the checkers. They've been able to battle back. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Whitmer versus Professor Cass. Whitmer trying to come around, but PC too quick with the Tech 9, gets the headshot, and so finally Splyce is able to get around, but look at the cost it took. They lose 4 players, so again, in all the rounds they've won this game, they've never kept more than 2 players alive, so again, they're having to dip back into their pockets right away. They can't build up bank. And if compLexity can reset them here, they'll be right back on their way to taking a lead in this game. So Splyce have to be very careful. They need to tread lightly because they need to score some rounds in a row, and they need to do so without losing so much in the process.
Yeah, luckily Shazam was able to save there. So he still has a lot of money, but he gets taken out of the round immediately. That op just ripped away effectively $5,000 in the garbage unless Arya can salvage it and make something of it. Surreal could be running into it right now. So Arya, let's see if you got it. Oh, good smoke covering from his team.
I mean, we've seen Whitmer getting better at Shazam whenever they've done these heads-up op duels. I mean, Shazam not having a terrible game. I mean, he's 7-8, but I feel like he's been kind of busted on rounds where he's actually had the op. I think it's been some of the other rounds where he got most of his kills. So he's having a little bit of a harder time so far. Whitmer definitely doing some good things here. The Argos Splyce, though, looking to hit this B bomb site once again. JSONR does take out Surreal and Whitmer, so that B bomb site has been cleared out. And again, it's going to be another 3v3 situation in this B bomb site. We've had a few of these, and so far it's been kind of back and forth on who's taken them. Last time around it was Splyce. That was just a round ago, and complexity doesn't even look like they've been able to find much. But as soon as I say that, they're going to get in the vents and get a couple of kills. So now Davey alone in a 1 versus 3 does find a couple of kills, but cannot transfer that
really
spray
close,
to death. Yeah, indeed. If you would have maybe just had a little bit quicker reaction, you might have actually pulled that clutch off. But complexity take it, and Splyce's economy has been reset. They do get a bomb plant, so that helps out a little bit, but you can still see 3 of their players are very low.
Certainly. I think it was finally the retake they needed there to boost their retaking confidence, and Splyce was kind of going up against the money wall that Complexity had going on with all that bankrolled cash that they're mostly still able to keep going. So, broken bite here from Splyce. Let's see if they can make the most out of it. Continue to damage Complexity's economy. Seems unlikely in the A bomb site at the very least. Splyce has had certainly more success at B, and it kind of confuses me because I feel like we see good players over there that kind of make, maybe not, like bad mistakes, but just like was Sanks before peeking early from vents. You know, didn't really make a lot of sense there. Both players peeking wide on the side and putting.
You have to imagine the synergy's probably a bit off, as Roka hasn't been playing with these guys in practice or in their matches lately. So I don't know if maybe it's a little bit of that. Again, I don't know how the team environment is. Again, Roka's not really wanting to play with this team, as from what I understood. So that could be a part of it. Maybe the synergy just not there on that B-bomb site, which could be why you're seeing some of those miscoms. But either way, we're going to see how this plays out, as we are going to see Splyce look to execute this B-bomb site once more. As you noted, they've had some success here in the past couple of rounds. Though Complexity did get that retake last time around, and now they're just going to shut down the site completely. No need for retakes this time around. They'll just prevent anything from taking place here for Splyce. Shazam able to get 1 kill, but now he's up on a 1v4. So, I mean, what can you really expect from him at this point? There's really not a whole lot he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, trying to find a frag somewhere. Bomb is down pretty far away from him as well. It doesn't seem realistic. He's going to spot out Whitmer's arm, so that's an easy frag for him. 3 more. He could steal this round away. Would be an ace on the round. We saw Stewie do it a few nights ago. Let's see if Shazam's going to have his time. Takes a spam shot. Not going to hit it. Smoking, though, so he's certainly committed to trying, despite the fact that his team has no money left. 1v3 with an off, and they're all there. He's able to get 1, and
what?
Surreal is dead, and Death is dead. I think maybe the power went out in the Complexity household.
Oh, no.
That is my guess. There's no fact or basis behind that. But
there's no way to win this round, then.
Ace punch for Shazam, 1-on-1. Does he have
he's back, boys.
He's
back, boys.
Uh-oh, Death returning. Looking to make a play for his team. And he gets the frag. He saves it for Complexity. Shazam falls short in the 1-on-1 Death. Let's go. Snapping back when his team needs him most.
You gotta wonder, though, because they're telling him that the PC crashed, so maybe Shazam's feeling like, he doesn't need to worry so much, and then he peeks out, and the dude clearly wasn't crashed and killed him, so obviously a rough situation that Cole had a couple players crash in that round, which caused, Shazam to get a free kill on the site to even get the bomb plant, but then, you're communicating that a guy crashed that might, give Shazam the idea that, hey, there's nothing really to worry about, and then he just kind of takes maybe an unfavorable engagement, and so Cole ends up winning the round. So a lot of weird things happening there. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that can be done about it.
No,
it's mid-round like that.
Actually, I think Valve recently patched it with a new crash bug. I'm kidding. I don't think.
Okay, I was so confused what that joke was. And anyway, we have Splyce doing some type of force fly push here inside the A-bomb site, and it's not going well. Complexity putting a shutdown. And so they've now won the last 3 rounds in a row. They've actually won the last 7 of 8 rounds. So they've really been dominating this game. We saw our initial buy rounds.
Yeah, certainly. The only weakness they've shown has been towards the B bomb site. And it seems like they snap back into form. I really like, the ghost 1-on-1 crazy thing kind of took precedent in conversation from the round beforehand, I think. But the smoke, or actually it was the same round where they did that smoke play and held everyone off for so long. Or yeah, what am I talking about? The round was so long, I lost my mind. But yeah, Roka drops the smoke down to the side, spams two freeway, works with his teammate in Surreal. They don't push up, they don't engage early. They let the players come to them and take favorable angles. It was a really good setup. Now the A-bomb site under siege. Frags in both directions, and Sanks coming out on top like he tends to do. 3 frags for him.
I mean, Splyce are having a really hard time right now. I mean, before it was they were losing the retakes, but they were actually getting control of the B-bomb site. Now, I mean, they've lost all these clutch situations. I think every time we've come down to some type of 1v1 situation, it almost seems like Cole's always come out on top in those, with the exception of that one where Professor Chaos won against Surreal at A. That was really early on, though. Otherwise, you know, when it's come down to these 3v3s, Cole's retakes have been on point. And over the past couple of rounds, aside from that Shazam round we just saw that was kind of wacky,
oh, here we go.
They're just shutting down Splyce. Now they're going to get aggressive at B. But Splyce are going to get the better end of the deal. But as soon as I say that, Sanks follows up. He's the third man in line, and he will find a hat trick. So it's looking like Splyce might have found themselves a little bit of something on that push, but then it just folds right away. So now it's going to be compLexity up 9-4. Unreal.
Certainly, but Sanks does go down, so he does bleed. Wimmer going down as well, getting caught out in the middle of nowhere, fully blind. Roka now in a one-on-one with Professor Chaos, a suddenly extremely losable round. Roka, though, I think has an idea of what's going on here. He certainly does. He's rotating right in time to catch Professor Chaos. Should be an easy frag here, but you never know. PC smokes, has his gun out, so he knows someone is in the area. Is he ready for a very Roka play here? Oh, Roka stays in the smoke. That's smart. Thought he was going to push right through.
What is going on? What is this game? This
Patience
round
here
should have
from
been
both
in the books
Roka.
for Cole. Oh my god. So Professor Chaos just wins a 1v3?
I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah, pretty much for no reason.
My.
Particularly Whitmer was the disappointing kill to me. You know, 1v3, sometimes you steal away a frag, and then Whitmer leaves cover, comes out in the middle of nowhere, and gets super flashed, like full widescreen flashed. Not what you want to have happen there. At least they can reset Splyce. Like, that's something they can look forward to as a positive. Not that
honestly, though, I thought that round was in the bag. When Sanks came in, got those 3 kills, and got the bomb back down, they have a 3-on-1. I think, okay, that's it. I mean, they've shut down Splyce, but then somehow they just give Professor Chaos a chance, and he takes those opportunities and turns it into a round win. And so that means the gap has been closed a little bit. It's 8-5. And we do have a double lot set up in effect for compLexity now. We're going to see Whitmer with his AMP playing over towards the A-bomb site. Def will have his at B, so a 1-3-1 anchoring the sites with the ops. Roka is convinced to quickly assist B if needed. So it's a good setup, but Shazam will do the honors of finding first blood this round. He has been able to take out Sanks, yes.
It's like an alternate dimension where Sanks is getting killed first instead of getting the first kills. Boost up, though. Jason R getting taken down as Def finds an op frag onto Davey across the map onto B. So just as things were going well, they're starting to fall apart here. A-bomb set going to be under siege. Whitmer, op in hand, going to be backed up by his buddy Surreal. Finally gets the frag. Not a lot of bullets up in his clip. Still kind of leaves Whitmer hanging. Well, still gets the frag. Shazam, LMS, dinks, gets 1 frag, can't get another one. More clean rounds from compLexity. And as I said, you don't want this to happen, but they were able to reset Splyce, so this could be a comfortable finish.
It's weird. Like, I mean, Shazam gets the opening pick at middle on the Sanksington, and then all of a sudden he becomes the LMS. So I just feel like he's not being implemented right, or he's not playing right. One or the other. You know, you're letting him get an opening pick, you have a 5-on-4. Let him keep working the op. You know, let him go into A main. See if you can take down Whitmer inside the A-bomb site. You know, float him over to B lobby. See if you can get that duel with Def. Like, you know, just implement him more, because there's nothing worse than an op being left by himself in a 1vx. It's just not ideal. You want to have him involved earlier in the round. This time around, he is taken out right away. I believe that was from Def's op over at the B bomb site here. Op is going to be recollected by Arya, so it'll get put back into use. But the rest of Splyce are just on Tech 9s and very low utility. So Cole, looking like they should be able to take 10 rounds here on the CT side if everything goes according to plan. Obviously, we had that one round where PC won a 1v3 that we didn't expect. So who knows, I guess. But Def is going to keep adding to the advantage. They're taking out Arya.
For so long for that frag.
Indeed. I mean, the map nowadays on Cash has been usually pretty terrorist-sided, so the fact that Cole might get 10 rounds from the CT side is definitely going to put Splyce in the bind, I think. And it could have been much worse. If it wasn't for PC's crazy clutch, this could have been 11-4, 12-3.
Pistols. Big pistols. They beat a stack.
So I would say that Cole was definitely dominated the half, and it could have been much worse than 10-5.
Certainly,
for a couple of
I
mishaps.
think, yeah, no, I don't think Splyce, I don't think Splyce is gonna be happy with it, but I think they got to be satisfied. All things considered, could have been a lot worse. I think complexity as well had a lot of opportunities. Could have gotten pretty hairy, particularly with the 3 rounds in a row where they lost B and then won 2 out of the 3 retakes there. That could have gotten out of control pretty quickly. So let's take a look at these stats and see who was on top. It is Professor Chaos topping it off for Splyce in terms of efficacy. Shazam doing or getting.
Look at Davey. That's the one that shocks me the most. I don't think I've ever seen Davey have this bad of a stats game in a long time.
He's not on land. He's not fueled by the screaming, the yelling.
I don't know. I mean, even in most of the online games we've seen Splyce play, Davey's consistently been one of their top fraggers, even in games they've gotten, you know, blown out. Or like even think about that one game against Fnatic on Train where they got blown out the major. I mean, Davey still put up some decent numbers with the op in that game on. So I don't know. It's odd to see him fragging this low. I mean, something must be going on there. This is not a normal night for him, I feel like.
Certainly. And the story of this, to me as well, on top of the other really good numbers, is the first kills from complexity, surrounded by some lovely ADR numbers, but 3 for Sanks, 2 for Def, 2 for Roka, 1 for Surreal, 3 for Whitmer. And across the board, you see 0 on PC, 0 on Davey, 1 on Ari and Jay.
Yeah, I just feel every time that complexity got aggressive on the CT side, it worked. When they pushed they pushed A main, I think twice in that half in the early part, and they won both of those duels, which got them rounds.
Mid boost,
the B push should have worked that one round, but then PC clutched to 1 versus 3. But you could see how their aggression was working to get them man advantages. Like, yeah, sometimes they'd kind of piss it away by making a mistake, but they were controlling the game throughout pretty much the entirety of it. With the exception of, again, a couple of those mishaps and those, you know, 3vx situations where they had the advantage. Rounds. Yeah, so, yeah, definitely some rounds closer there on the retakes on B also. But, yeah, complexity in a great position now. You know, this map, again, has been more T-sided lately, I think. So, complexity have put themselves in a great position to take map 1 here if they can keep it up, especially if they can win the pistol here.
Also, I feel like we stop talking about Roka for a little bit. He was really impactful early on, specifically with damaging Splyce's economy and just getting really loose with that deagle, picking up a bunch of frags out of nowhere. That kept Splyce uncomfortable, but now the site is being taken 2 for 1. Make that 2 for 2 as Sanks finally replies. Def gets a knife frag. I didn't even see that how that happened. It was in the back of Checkers. Now 2v3 retake. The opposite situation here coming in for complexity. I think they're happy to be on this side of it. Bomb is going to go down for main. Actually, 2-on-2. Did it just get brought down? I don't know. Davey gets the frag, though. Will get quickly traded out 1-on-1. Sanks gets right up in Professor Chaos' face. Gets the frag. 3 for him on the round. Talk about an impactful fragger right there. I think he said, what, 130 ADR at halftime? So chalk on whatever another 300 would give him.
That round really came down to that 1 versus 2 from Def. I mean, it was pretty close all the way through up until that point. You could see that complexity, you know, got caught at Checkers. I think it was actually Splyce that got the first kill of the round, the player behind the box, while they were trying to come out and vent. They did trade that player out, but they really got held up in Checkers for quite a long time. They couldn't really press them to the site, and that gave Splyce a lot of time to, you know, rotate and have all their players there to retake pretty quickly, but it was still complexity who was able to win the round thanks to the efforts of Sanks there in that clutch situation. So now they're up 11-5. They're able to upgrade all of their guns. They have 1 SMG in play. Everyone else is on a Galil or an AK. There are just pistols up for Splyce here. Of course, some CZs involved with armor. They are stacking that A-bomb site with 4 players. It looks like they are going to be doing some type of mid-to-B split again. So it looks like they will avoid that stack, and they'll have an easier time getting a 12th round because of it.
Yeah, it looks like PC is actually rotating off. Poor timing for him. He realizes it now. That's going to be a bomb site forfeited. Complexity really took over, not only with their round wins, but also with how many people they were able to keep alive on the round wins, holding onto rifles for an extremely long period of time. So I think that's something that they want to keep coming here, and I think they're going to be able to, as they should have an easy idea of where these Splyce players are coming from. They're going to be hunting. They want to take AKs out of the complexity player's hands, so if they stay patient, they could rake in some easy kills.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where Splyce are probably looking just to hold on to this armor and upgraded pistols, just try to pose a similar threat next round. There's no hope of retaking here or probably finding too many exits, but Maybe they could make some type of play next round. Maybe they stack and this time complexity falls into it, or they can do some type of aggressive push. Either way, they can try to make better use of these pistols. But as I say that, while they're setting up for X's here in mid-garage, the chase from complexity has been netting them kills. Sank's already with one more. Whitmer had one as well. And so they only will be able to roll over 2 half armors and 2 upgraded pistols into this round. And I'm sure no one else is really going to invest too much. Maybe a P250 or 2, but of course no armor. So this should be, you know, a breeze for complexity at this point to get to 13-5.
Yeah, I think at this point they may be cruising their way through the rest of this game. I had an idea that complexity was going to be good at this one. Plus Roka in the lineup, it's never a bad idea. They're certainly delivering here. Splyce, as you said, trying to get something done with pistols. Not much doing overall. Shazam trying to get some info in mid, peeking over. Actually, they're going to be moving out of A completely-ish.
Yeah, they're just kind of gambling a rotate as early as possible, which makes sense. I mean, this is your best chance to win, is if you make the right call on rolling the dice. And you know, they're going to be in position here, but Sanks and Roka coming up with the kills. And I mean, as quickly as we were calling that rotate coming in was how quick complexity took them down. And so now it's going to be 13-5. Splyce is really going to get one chance at bringing this game back, and it's going to be this round, because obviously they lose this, they're going to be in a situation where they don't have much they can really afford. They would probably force Spy to stop an OT or to fight, you know, fight for regulation, and then that's this game at that point, right? So this is their last hope.
Certainly, it'll be interesting to see if they fight for mid again, because all 3 of their first 3 rounds predicated on some mid control here, and then eventually splitting. So they are going to be bringing it out here. 3 players towards A for Splyce. No one really aggressively holding mid. Arya is going to fall back to truck and maybe go back around to Z. Yeah, that is what he's going to be doing. But while he's ever so slowly walking down to Z, Roka has made his way all the way up highway. He could get flashed up. He's not going to see much, but it is still a lot of map. We'll see Shazam, though, actually, who has an op trained right on that. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so I mean, they're giving up mid, but they do have eyes on it. So if Roka tries to peek up highway, Shazam will have a chance to get the opening kill of the round, if that's in fact the first engagement. You can see Def bringing that bomb over towards Squeaky Door, so it seems like they definitely want this to be an A split. They do have Whitmer with his op watching for B aggression, but he's not really involved in the attack a whole heck of a lot. He might get in here now. Davey does clear out A main. He gets info that no one's there, so Arya begins to cheat over towards middle. But now he's coming right back to truck, as we are seeing again complexity definitely setting up for a heavy A execute here. Roka just might be alert factor at mid while they really focus their attack on A. As Shazam, you know, is he going to get hit out by any of these Molotovs? Roka does in fact have one. One comes in the forklift, but Davey just kind of slides over behind the smoke to avoid it. He is going to be able to find a kill there onto depth as well. So far the hit isn't working. Splyce putting up a great defense. Sank's able to find one, but that's going to be it thus far, and they're running out of time. Splyce has a 4-on-2. Bomb is down. Jason R going to add to it now. It's all up to Saints coming out the door. He's able to get the kill onto Shazam's op, but now he just doesn't have any time. Only 7 seconds left. He'll get, you know, a kill or 2, but it's still going to be Splyce taking the round, so complexity just getting held up.
Certainly, they stayed really patient there and trusted their crossfire they set up, particularly with Shazam hanging out by quad, trusting his teammates to hold him down, and he stayed there looking at highway forever. I don't know, I can't remember what time they just executed, but it was pretty late in the round. Roka had been camped there for a while. He stays patient long enough to catch the lurk and trusted his teammates enough to get the frags on the players that were coming in through the main and squeaky area. So really solid stuff there, good crossfire, just solid shooting there from Splyce. They were set up properly to deal with the situation, and they got it done with their guns.
Splyce surviving a little bit longer here, winning a round they definitely need to stay into it. Now they have a double op 7 effect because they picked up Shazam's fallen out from the previous round. Or no, excuse me, they picked up Whitmer's op from the previous round to give to Shazam, and then Davey has the other. So you have to worry about the money reset though here if you're Splyce. Yeah, you got past the first hurdle, but if you lose this one,
they've been here before.
That was all for naught. Yeah, I mean, you would be in really rough shape at that point. So this is a very big round. Granted, if Splyce wins this, complexity probably taking a save. That's when they can push this to 8 and really close that gap. And Davey, he will find Whitmer trying to get inside the vent. They're trying to do a mid-B split, but it's been shut down. Jason R Inside Checkers is going to find a pair of frags, and it means that Sanks and Roka are the only ones left. Now, Roka will be able to flush JSONR out with this Molotov, but he gets blinded, and JSONR still finds the kill and gets out of that fire, and even stays alive for a bit longer. He's low, yes, but it doesn't matter. Sanks is all alone here, trying to lurk through middle, but Shazam is ready for it. And so that's going to be that. Splyce on their way to 8 rounds as Cole again likely taking this.
Yeah, JSONR picking up the 3K, kind of filling in the Sanks role and getting it done early there in mid, setting up his team, and then eventually catching Roka in vents. Really solid fragging ability there, and he's mostly up there with the best we've seen. I mean, that was a 3K, so he only had 9 frags before that. He's sitting at 12 right now. There hadn't been a lot of individual step-up explosive play from Splyce, except for, what, the 1v3 they won? Besides that, not real. I guess Shazam had that almost 1v5 ace against players that were crashed. Other than that, no one really has had any explosive multi-kill rounds. It's mostly been grinding team takes and then fighting off retakes, things like that. So it's good to see someone stepping up big for the team and getting a big multi-frag round as Shazam finally opens up this round with a frag onto Roka.
Yeah, again, we aren't going to really see compLexity having too much to use this round. Shazam's just kind of having free reign here at middle. They're just kind of peeking him one by one. He's able to just keep delivering the frags. We'll find maybe even a fourth spot depth here on the boosted position. Actually gets killed by Test Eagle. Arya isn't going to be able to trade right back, though, pressing through A main. He wants to take down depth, looking for Sanks as well to end the round. He will. So there you have it, 13-8. Splyce starting to formulate a bit of a challenge here against compLexity. Still are pretty far off, but a couple more rounds, there's a reasonable chance they might be able to tie this thing up.
Yeah, certainly. They're hitting their stride right now, and they're forcing compLexity to play no ops, so I expect a pretty coordinated team take. They had been basing a lot of their play off mid, but you never know. It's always it could always be time to mix it up, and there's gonna be some early presence for compLexity over at Squeaky. I thought Roka was going to be gearing up to throw something towards that, but he doesn't really have enough teammates over there. It's going to be up to Sanks to get into a quick duel with Shazam. He'll get legged, forced away.
Yeah,
he's comfortable just hanging out. They don't want mid yet. They're hanging out. They're waiting for, I think, some aggression from Splyce. I think they saw what worked for them, and they know that Splyce could easily do that right back, so they're trying to counter it.
Not wanting to challenge that op at middle. It is a 1-3-1 setup right now for Splyce. Excuse me, no, there is one Checkers at B, so just 1A though. Of course, it's a little bit vulnerable there, actually. We are seeing compLexity gather up here inside A main. Roka and Sanks together. Surreal inside the door. A couple are going to be pressing up mid to the white box by Highway. Davey not peeking out, so he doesn't even realize that this is happening just yet. He might be able to get a backstab op into one of these players before they actually get into the excitement. But no, he gets caught. Def able to get it instead, and so Cole starts collapsing on the inside, but look at Shazam staying alive with the squad box. He's found 2 kills. Roka does eventually take him out, puts this into a 2v2. The bomb will get planted. We do have a flank coming in through A main. I think that's Professor Chaos, but it's going to be a moment before he gets in position, so JSONR has to kind of wait it out, wait for him to get in position. They do have one incendiary on PC. Both players are quad. That incendiary can make such a huge difference, but PC's going door, so I don't think he's really going to be able to put it out in a position that would work. They think players are actually A main. You can see JSONR wasting a smoke on it. The bomb's not even planted for A main. They don't know what's going on. They see the players are boosted, so now they know what's up, and they're going to be able to get in here and get the kills. We had a little bit of a lag there, apparently, but
yeah, right.
In the midst of all that, apparently the incendiary did come into play regardless from the doorway, and we are going to see Splyce retake the site in that 2 versus 2, and now we're going to see the game tick over to 13-9. But with that bomb plant, Cole still could put a purchase in here.
Certainly, and I was a little concerned there for the retake there from Splyce as the smoke came out from truck and smoked off A main. It seems like the server may have stuttered there. I'm not really sure what happened. We felt it here on GoTV. When you feel it in GoTV, you know something went down. Either way, though, the smoke came in from truck and smoked off A main. I feel like that effectively guarantees to their team that the other person that's coming is not going to be coming through A main. They're so fearful of it. They think there's a player in there. They're going to smoke their way out of it. You get boosted over the quad box. So you can see there's no one highway. At that point, I may be a little concerned that someone's ready for the squeaky flank that is otherwise supposed to be very surprising. It didn't really matter ultimately, as the incoming players got it done pretty easily. And I think the server's been otherwise pretty good despite that large hiccup. So it seems like the players are just going to keep it going and hope that doesn't happen again.
So compLexity electing to take kind of a middle-of-the-road approach. They didn't fully invest into this round with the bomb plant from the previous. They're just going to Tech 9 half armor, knowing that they're going to have full loss bonus if they lose this round coming in next time, and they'll have plenty of cash. So minor investment could get them another bomb plant, perhaps maybe even somehow a win, as Surreal is going to catch Shazam getting aggro and A main and take him out. There's no one there for the trade back, and so they are going to be able to make it to the site pretty much uncontested. This bomb is going to get planted. I thought it did get stuffed though, but Surreal now here cutting off players from the forklift, allowing another opportunity for this bomb to get planted. And look at Def, he's on a huge flank. He's going to catch Davey in the back by the truck, and he's going to be able to find the kill. And so somehow compLexity, even though they barely invested into this round, might in fact find it. Professor Chaos alone in a 1v3. He's won one of these before in the last half. I'll have to do it again here from the CT side, but he's up against Surreal's op. Thanks low HP inside the site, so he is a little bit vulnerable, but it's still going to be hard here for PC. He only has a smoke to work with to get in here. He does have a kit, so that gives him a little bit more time to try to see if he can't figure something out as he just slowly works his way up highway. Surreal, though, is going to be opping the cross he has to make to get into the site. He might even have heard some of that jumping around, I'm not sure, but he hears that landing, and he's able to hit the shot, and so Cole up 14-9. And again, that wasn't even their full buy round. That was just them kind of, you know, trying to find a way to get another bomb plant. Yeah, and they steal it away, as you noted.
A lot of it came down to Shazam getting caught out. He had been pushing pretty aggressively there for a while with that off. That's a really strong peak that I feel like a lot of teams are pulling out. Cloud9, I feel like that's a staple of their aggression is bringing it off and having it peak towards a main. Or not necessarily off. I mean, they like to get loose. Stewie will get loose anywhere with any gun, but they get it off in their hands. They love just that early push in general. Got punished for it that time though, and ended up relenting the site because of it. Arya is now getting bullied away from it as has taken a lot of damage, and Rilka comes so close to taking him out, but spams in the wrong direction as smoke cover was a little too much. 5-on-4 compLexity back at it with first kills as Whitmer finds another one.
Yeah, exactly. Cole is looking to snowball this into a map victory now as they're just going to once again go for this mid to B split. We do see Professor Cash trying to put up a stand to it, but he's only able to find one, and Whitmer just lightning fast with that out, taking down Arya in heaven immediately. That's going to leave Shazam alone in a 1v3 as the bomb is assuredly going down here and now. There is the plant from Whitmer, and Shazam,
save it.
I mean, he has to, but the thing is they have no money. They only have $1,900 coming in next round. That means the most they're going to have on a player is $2,400 on Jason R and this op on Shazam. So it is dire straits for Splyce at this point.
Yeah, didn't even realize that Jason R had that $500. Thought 300 was the richest, so I guess that's an improvement, having $500, but yeah, not looking too hot there. Shazam really far away from the action. No real chance he's going to lose this bomb. Ticking away for a while. Easy round here for compLexity. Looking forward to Mirage. I think that's going to be a little more interesting of a matchup. I think Splyce, as you said before, are going to be a stronger competitor on that map in particular. I like compLexity here. I'm still not 100% sure that they can do it in 2, though. We'll see. I guess they need to do it in 1 first before they can even consider doing it in 2. So let's see if they can pick this round up.
Yeah, I think Mirage should be a bit better for Splyce. So I think they're a team that's probably going to be a bit more coordinated on it. But compLexity just shooting better tonight, that's for sure, as we are going to see them just looking to put this thing away here and now. They're going to boost a couple of players up middle. There is a boost over the smoke going on here. That's CT connected, but I don't know if Shazam actually spotted that someone had already made it to highway. And Def, in the meantime, has picked up PC inside A main. And again, these players are already up highway. There's nothing that Shazam's really going to be able to do now. Arya trying to see if he can't play the edge of the smoke and catch someone throwing set nades. It looks like he actually does slip behind. Yeah, very good maneuver. It might allow him to help a retake later on, as it'll just blindside his opposition. In the meantime, Splyce has already collected a couple other kills as well, so it's looking great. And yeah, there's Arya catching a player off guard. Whitmer does trade it pretty quickly, but there's still a man down. The plant will go down, but Def's stuck in a 1v3. Actually, he won't even get to plant. Too much pressure coming in from Splyce, and they're going to stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, love that move, sliding through smoke right there. Got his team all the information they could ask for, plus that flanking frag. So good on him. Would have been cooler if he could have stayed alive longer, but Still, round wins are round wins for Splyce. They're 5 away. They're certainly within striking distance here. Breaking Complexity's economy would be pretty big as well. They do have a pretty healthy buy here. A lot of utility on pretty much everyone except for Whitmer, but he's the offer. That's fine. He's going to be boosting other people up, despite the fact that he is the offer. Def getting into a firefight and coming out on top, so good plan overall. Where's he going to bring this up? Back to get the bomb. Okay. Surreal. Now looking for Davey, and he will get the frag, so more good things rolling Complexity's way here on this potential last round.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way. As they had a 5-on-3, but then somehow definitely not able to get out that fire. It's going to give 1 kill over to the Splyce side, but it's still going to be a 4-on-2 when it's all said and done. That bomb actually backs off of B lobby and heading back towards mid garage. There is mid control asserted here by Complexity, as we do have Roka and Sanks both out there, but they'll also retract back into the mid garage. So it seems like they're just all backing up for an A attack. Shazam is the only member in the area having that op over and truck, though, so he's playing it quite passively, maybe just looking to see if he can catch someone coming out of A main and allow time for JSONR to get into a better position. But Complexity definitely about to just pile into an empty bomb site any moment now. Only 40 seconds left on the clock, but, you know, plenty of time to plant. The smokes will go out. Shazam's not even in the spot when crossing into the site. You do see him try to spam through. He does catch Whitmer peeking forklift. So that is 1 kill to the name of Splyce, but there's still a man down attempting this retake. JSONR has made his way to truck with Shazam, so they will just kind of push this together. But as I said, that JSONR actually shifts his focus over here to highway, and so he'll begin to press up with his M4. Shazam, though, caught out by Roka, so now it's all on JSONR's shoulders. 1v2 now. Wasn't 1-on-3, but he's found a kill onto Roka. He's beginning to press into the site. He spots his Shadow Surreal behind quad, so he knows he's there. He is able to dink him down the IHP. He'll just press in, gets the kill. It's all up to Sanks now. Sanks just slithering around the site, however. I don't think JSONR realizes he's right here. He's going to be able to stop that defuse, and so we are going to see Complexity take the round and take the map. 16-10, a great game from Sanks. 30 kills on the board. Also, Roka and Def in the 20s, so there you have it.
Certainly. Monstrous game from Sanks. Going to take a look at his stats here. 5 first kills. Really impactful early on. 121 ADR. That's pretty insane right there. What else? 3 1vx kills. Really, I mean, the rest of his stats are really just insane. He dominated. He picked up so many of those 2K rounds early, just getting out there and fragging and being a menace down the line. It kind of caught up to Splyce. They weren't able to keep that kind of pressure up for too long. Eventually, it bit them, particularly on that eco round when Shazam got caught pushing A alone. He folded, and there was a guy, I think, like Highway at that point, was trying to run up it. Couldn't do anything about it, so couldn't really hang with that constant aggressive style. And I fear for them on Mirage that if Complexity gets CT side first, as it wasn't their map pick, they may get that early aggression going on CT side and start to stick it to Splyce again. And I think maybe pull out this upset, potentially 2-0.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Splyce definitely didn't look good tonight so far. I mean, Davey having one of the worst games I've seen him have in a very long time. Arya also wasn't really playing well. He's kind of the other guy that's been one of the top fraggers for this team, so they're not really having their performances. I mean, Shazam, yeah, he got 22 and 22, but how many of those frags were high impact? How many times was he stuck in a 1vx situation with an op with no hope to win the round? I mean, there was a lot of that going on, I felt like. So that kind of just pointed to some of the things that Splyce suffered from. Meanwhile, you had Complexity playing so well in the first half. Their aggression on the CT side almost always yielded them a man advantage. Sanks, particularly with his A main pushes, were effective. He had a big push on B main for 3 kills one round as well. He ultimately lost that round, but you could just see that the pace at which Complexity were playing the game was one that Splyce couldn't keep up with. Yeah, exactly. So I think that kind of sums up map 1 as best we can quickly. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will have Mirage, see if we will see a 2-0 from Cole, or whether or not Splyce can push this into Train to make it a full 3-map series. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.